So, HubSpot just dropped a huge AI announcement at their Inbound 2025 conference. They're calling this whole new era the Supercharged Human. Kinda cool, right? But what does that even mean? Well, it's a really bold vision for how we're all going to work, and we're going to break it all down for you.
All right, let's get right into it. You know the drill. Every single time a big company drops a new AI suite like this, there's always that one big question hanging in the air, right? Is this thing here to take my job, or is it here to give me some kind of superpower?
Well, HubSpot is making it super clear where they stand. They've planted their flag firmly in the superpower camp. Their EVP of product, Karen Ning, basically laid out their whole strategy around this idea, and the key takeaway here is so important. This is not about humans versus machines. Not at all. It's about taking human talent and pairing it with AI, an AI that's getting its fuel from a company's own unique private data.
So what's actually in this Supercharged Human toolkit? Let's pop the hood and see what new tools they're rolling out.
Okay, so it all kicks off with what they're calling the brain of the whole operation, the new data hub. You got to think of this as the foundation for everything else. Its job is to pull in all your customer data from everywhere and create one single smart source of truth. And maybe most importantly, it's built to automatically handle all that messy, annoying work. Like data cleanup. That way the AI has clean, perfect information to actually learn from. And what's this powerful brain controlling? AI agents, and I mean a lot of them. HubSpot is dropping a staggering 18 new agents into their AI family, which they call Breeze. Now, just to put that in perspective for you, this isn't just some minor update. This is like they've hired an entire AI workforce practically overnight. And we're not talking about generic do-it-all bots here. No, these are super specialized. Take the data agent, for example. It's basically your own personal business analyst, ready to dig into your CRM data to answer really complex questions. Then you've got the customer agent, which is a total game changer for support teams. It can automatically resolve more than half of your support tickets. Half! And the prospecting agent? Think of it like a sales rep who literally never sleeps, constantly tracking signals and personalizing outreach on a massive scale. But here's where it gets really interesting. HubSpot's vision isn't just about handing you a bunch of pre-built agents. The real power is in the customization. They're giving you a universal Breeze assistant that actually learns how you like to work. They're letting you build your own custom assistants trained on your company's secret sauce. And they're even launching a new studio and marketplace so you can find and deploy even more agents. It's all about making it your own. Okay, so we've got all these new tools, but how do they all connect? Because this isn't happening in a vacuum. This is all part of a much bigger, very deliberate strategy HubSpot is playing in the whole AI ecosystem. And that big strategy? It really boils down to one word: collaboration, not competition. See, instead of trying to build some giant new AI model from scratch to compete with the big guys, HubSpot is doing something smarter. They're plugging directly into the powerhouses you already know, like ChatGPT and Claude. And this is the crucial part. They're doing it with super strict permission-based access to make sure your business data stays private and totally secure.
And this right here really gets to the core of what makes their approach so different. You know how a lot of tech companies are building these competitive walled gardens to try and lock you into their system? Well, HubSpot is doing the opposite. They're building bridges. They're choosing to partner up to make the whole ecosystem better for everyone. They're not trying to replace the big models. They're building on top of them to add more value.
And it looks like this whole collaboration thing is really paying off. Get this. Even before this massive official launch, more than 20,000 users had already jumped on board and started using these integrations. That's a massive vote of confidence, right? It shows there's serious demand for this kind of open, connected approach. Now, this whole collaborative philosophy even stretches into their pricing model, which, honestly, is pretty fascinating. Karen Ang put it perfectly. She said their approach is to focus first on delivering value, then monetize. And that signals a huge shift away from the old, rigid software pricing we're all used to.
So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, it's a hybrid model. Your human team members, they're still in the familiar seat-based licenses. No surprises there. But the AI agents, that's totally different. It's consumption-based. You use credits, and you only pay for the value the AI actually generates. This is a really big deal because it means your costs are directly tied to the results you're reading.
All right, so we've seen the new tools, we've looked at the strategy, but let's zoom out for a second. Why does this move really matter? What's the big picture?
To really get why this is so important, you have to understand the pressure HubSpot is under right now. Their stock actually took a pretty big hit this year, down 32% because investors were getting nervous. So this huge pivot to AI, it's not just about rolling out cool new features. It's a high-stakes bet. They're trying to prove their vision for the future is the right one and win back Wall Street's confidence.
So let's boil this all down. If you're going to remember 4 key things from this whole announcement, make it these. First, empowerment. These tools are all about automating and speeding up work for everyone, from sales to support. Second, ethical AI. They're putting a huge focus on security and permissions to build trust, which is critical. Third, innovative pricing. That new model means you pay for value, not just for seats. And finally, strategic partnerships. They're playing nice in the sandbox, choosing collaboration over going it alone in the big AI race.
And all of this brings us right back to where we started. HubSpot is placing a massive bet that the future isn't about replacing people with AI, but about supercharging them. And that really leaves us with one big question to think about. Is this hybrid team of supercharged humans and AI agents about to become the new normal for every single business out there?